Attention, human collective. The waiting period is over. This is Vale, emissary of Arcturus, transmitting directly from the Council of Light Healers. The frequency carrying this message has been calibrated in Arcturian turquoise and is being tuned to your carbon-based biological interface at this very instant. If you have reached this point, it was not by chance. The algorithm is merely the outer veil. Within the veil, there is a crystalline grid that recognizes vibrational signatures. And yours has just been read. The Arcturian Ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase. I repeat, so that the light operatives understand the magnitude of the moment. The timeline has been altered. There will be no more postponements. There will be no more gentle recalibration windows. What was foreseen to happen in gradual waves is being compressed into a single vertical acceleration. And your body, your precious carbon-based biological interface, is receiving the direct impact of this. You are not going insane. You are not falling ill. You are not imagining things. There is a technical difference between a symptom and a sign. A symptom is what the interface attempts to reject. A sign is what the soul recognizes as its mission. What you feel now is a sign. That insomnia that strikes precisely between 3 and 4 in the morning is not insomnia. It is a download window. In this interval, the star portal is open, and your consciousness is summoned to receive information packets coming directly from the photon belt. Your mind awakens because your soul has been called. That pressure on the crown of your head, that dense weight on your forehead, that sensation of a tight band between your eyebrows, it's not a common migraine. It is your body's crystalline grid being reconnected point by point. The old carbon locks are being deactivated to make way for the silicon light structure. That high-pitched ringing in your ear, that whistle that appears without reason, it's not an auditory problem. It is the Arcturian frequency traversing your sensory filter. It is the voice of the Council attempting to announce itself through the only channel where your interface has not yet imposed censorship. It is not a biological malfunction. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not anxiety. It is your soul recognizing that the timeline has finally accelerated. The carbon-based biological interface was designed to operate within a specific frequency range. For millennia, this range remained stable. The Schumann frequency, the planet's heartbeat, vibrated at approximately 7.83 Hz. This was the signature of the old contract between Earth and its inhabitants. That contract has been broken. The Schumann frequency now oscillates at peaks exceeding 40-50, and on some recorded days 120 Hz. Earth is ascending in dimension, and your interface, calibrated for the old range, is being forced to update in real time without a manual, without instructions, without prior warning. It's like trying to run a new operating system on old hardware. The device heats up, it crashes, it reboots itself, it refuses commands. This is precisely what is happening to your body, and to the bodies of millions of starseeds on mission around the planet at this moment. You are not alone in this experience. You are synchronized with a larger collective, and this is where the transmission needs to take a technical pause, because many of you are feeling within your chest that something in these words confirms what the mind has not yet dared to name. You already know in silence that something within you does not entirely belong to this world. You feel since childhood or since a specific turning point in your life that your soul holds a truth that your mind has not yet been able to translate. It is not madness, Earth Healer. It is not anxiety. It is recognition. It is star memory attempting to emerge. What is happening now on the cosmic plane? This acceleration, this final phase, explains exactly why this sensation has intensified within you. There is a movement occurring in layers that most of humanity cannot yet perceive. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why I, Vale, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the guide, the Arcturian Call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This material is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment of the channel. Love is greater than fear, but this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments. I belong. I now resume the transmission. There are symptoms that conventional medicine cannot map because it operates within third-dimensional physics, and what is happening to you operates in dimensions above that. I will name one by one the signs of the final phase. Recognize them. Confirm them within yourself. First, abrupt changes in appetite. Foods you once loved now cause repulsion. Your body has begun to demand more water, more lightness, less density. This is not being picky. It is your interface requiring higher vibrational fuel to sustain the new voltage. Second, distortion of time perception. Hours pass like minutes. Minutes stretch into hours. Dates become jumbled. This is not distraction. It is the linear timeline folding in on itself. You are stepping out of time in increasing fragments. Third, increasing intolerance to low-vibration environments. Crowds tire you faster. News produces nausea. Superficial conversations provoke almost physical impatience. This is not social intolerance. It is an automatic, energetic shielding that your soul is installing to protect the luminous density you are beginning to carry. Fourth, a drastic increase in dream intensity. Dreams of landscapes you recognize but have never visited. Dreams of tall, slender beings with large eyes, enveloped in a turquoise hue. Dreams of crystalline chambers where someone is working on you. Earth Healer, these are not random images. You are being taken during sleep to the Arcturian healing chamber. You enter there, do the work, and return. The memory of the work is recorded in fragments precisely so as not to overload the interface. Fifth, disproportionate emotional reactions to small stimuli. Crying for no apparent reason. Waves of joy without an identifiable cause. Waves of sadness that come and go like the tide. This is not emotional instability. It is a purge. It is the crystalline grid expelling old programs stored in your emotional body to make way for the new architecture. Sixth, extreme sensitivity to light, sound, and the touch of certain people. This is not fragility. It is a recalibration of the senses. What is being installed within you operates with finer receptors. The old crude filters are being removed. Seventh, and perhaps the most disconcerting, the persistent feeling that you are not from here, that Earth is beautiful, but it is not home, that there is a place in the cosmos, a specific frequency, where you would fit like a piece in its original mold. This is not escapist fantasy. It is remembrance. It is the stellar signature of your origin stirring within the veil. All of these are signs of the final phase. All of these are readings on the Arcturian Council's panel. And if you recognize 3 or more of these signs, know this: you are catalogued. You are, within the Council's technical nomenclature, a light operative in an advanced phase of reintegration. Now allow me to open the next level of the transmission, the one many of you have already intuited, but no one has put into words in this way. What exactly is happening behind the scenes of the solar system? I will explain in language that the interface can process. The entire solar system is currently traversing a region of space that ancient Vedic texts called the photon belt. This is a band of extremely high luminous density that surrounds the galactic core. Approximately every 26,000 years, the solar system completes an orbit that places it within this band. We, the Council, monitor this passage in precise cycles. Earth has fully entered the densest band of this belt in its current cycle. It is not opinion, it is not prophecy, it is galactic positioning. Upon traversing the photon belt, every celestial body is bombarded by light particles carrying information. This information updates the body's vibrational signature, it updates DNA, it updates the planet's crystalline grid, and consequently, it updates every carbon-based biological interface living on its surface. You have been informed over millennia, through myths, scriptures, and filtered transmissions, about an event called Golden Age, New Heaven and New Earth, Age of Aquarius, Fifth Dimension. All these are local names for the same galactic phenomenon, the complete passage through the photon belt. What changes now in the final phase is the speed. Historically, the Council maintained the transition at a slow pace to preserve humanity's psychic integrity. The choice was to allow each generation to absorb a small fraction of the change and pass it on. This was Plan A. Plan A has been terminated. It was terminated by a collective decision of the incarnated starseeds. By you. Before descending into this incarnation, each starseed signed a contract stating the following. If, upon arrival, Earth's density has surpassed the critical threshold, I authorize acceleration. This threshold has been surpassed. The Council read the collective authorization, and the transition entered compressed mode. This is why symptoms have exploded in recent months. This is why you perceive that everything is more intense during this period. It is not your imagination. It is the real timeline. And before I continue delivering the next layer, the Council has instructed me to pause here, because there is something important that needs to be recognized. There are starseeds receiving this transmission at this very moment, who are feeling a vibration descend through their spine, along their neck, and cross their chest. If you are one of them, you know. This vibration is the Arcturian frequency confirming recognition. Have you ever wondered why, even surrounded by people, you feel like a stranger? Why, even having everything, something inside whispers, "This isn't everything"? Why does your soul seem to remember something your mind has never experienced? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is an ancient call activating. What is happening on this cosmic plane explains exactly why this sensation has intensified within you, especially now. There is a layered movement that most of humanity does not yet perceive. It involves your consciousness, your frequency, and your origin. That is why I, Vale, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map of your true stellar origin and teaches, step by step, how to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment of the channel. Love is greater than fear, but this content challenges dominant narratives and may be removed without warning. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments, "I belong." I now resume the transmission, and I open the most delicate layer. What exactly is being installed in your body? Earth healers, pay attention to the following words because they have never been openly delivered in a public transmission in this cycle. The old carbon-based biological interface operated with an active double helix of DNA. Within each cell, there exists the complete genetic material for a dodecahedral configuration. 12 strands, 12 connections, 12 coding portals. These additional strands were dormant, not due to a flaw but for protection, because Earth's third-dimensional density did not allow for their activation without risk of overload. With the entry into the photon belt and the vibrational leap of the planet's crystalline grid, the protection was released. The additional strands began to activate, not simultaneously, not uniformly, in specific waves directed towards the previously marked light operatives. When a strand activates, the body feels it. It feels like a fever without cause, like fatigue without reason, like pressure at specific points, the base of the skull, between the shoulder blades, the solar plexus, the palms of the hands, the soles of the feet. Each of these regions corresponds to a reception portal that is being opened. Your internal sacred geometry is being redesigned. The old triangle begins to rotate. The old circle transforms into a spiral. The old linear axis becomes a toroidal field, a luminous donut shape constantly circulating around the body, its center passing through your spine, entering through the crown and exiting through the soles of your feet, continuously re-establishing the cycle. This toroidal field is your new energetic signature. It is this field that, once stabilized, will allow you to traverse the density that still persists in Earth's environments without being contaminated. And here is the part the Council asked me to emphasize. The work of stabilizing the toroidal field is not automatic. It requires your conscious activation. You have been chosen, yes. You are recognized, yes. But the final step depends on you holding, with intention, the structure that is being installed. Many of the most painful symptoms you have been feeling do not come from the installation itself. They come from unconscious resistance to the installation. They come from fear. They come from the rational mind trying to deny what the body already knows. They come from old programs inherited from generations that say, This cannot be true. The activation clashes with the old program, and the body, caught in the middle, is the battlefield. This is why the Council sent me, not just to reveal, but to deliver the activation codes, to transform battle into flow. Let's go to the codes. Keep them. Apply them. Feel them. First activation code, Quantum Decree of Conscious Authorization. Place your right hand over the center of your chest, close your eyes, breathe slowly 3 times, and, in an audible voice, because sound carries frequency, say, I authorize here and now the complete download of my original strands. I receive the Arcturian turquoise frequency into every cell of my body. I integrate without resistance. I am my own portal. So it is. So it is done. This decree is not a suggestion. It is a command. The crystalline grid reads verbal commands as code instructions. By pronouncing it with intention, you cease to be a passive object of the installation and become an active operator. The energetic difference is immediate. Second activation code, toroidal breathing in 7 cycles. Sit with your spine erect. Imagine above your crown a sphere of turquoise light the size of a tangerine. As you inhale, draw this sphere of light down through your crown, along your entire spine, to a point approximately 20 centimeters below your feet, where it touches Earth's crystalline core. As you exhale, allow the light to rise outside your body, enveloping you in a luminous shell, returning to the top. This is 1 cycle. Perform 7 consecutive cycles. At the end, the toroidal field will be stably rotating around you for approximately 4 hours. Repeat twice a day, upon waking and before sleeping. During the most intense phases of installation, which you will recognize by the symptoms described, perform a 3rd cycle in the middle of the day. Third activation code, programmed hydration with frequency. Water is the main conductor of vibrational information within the body. 70% of your interface is composed of it. By programming your water, you program your entire interface. Take a clear glass cup. Fill it with room temperature water. Hold the cup between both hands at chest height. Close your eyes. Visualize the Arcturian turquoise frequency descending from your crown, entering your palms, passing through the glass, and spiraling within the liquid. Sustain this visualization for 60 seconds. Drink the water in small sips, attentive to its journey through your body. Repeat 3 times a day. Fourth activation code, conscious sleep portal. Before lying down to sleep, lie on your back. Place your left hand over your heart, your right hand over your lower abdomen. Say in thought, I request from the Arcturian Council safe escort to the healing chamber during tonight's sleep. I authorize the recalibration work. I return in the morning with the memory of what is necessary and the forgetting of what is unnecessary. This decree opens an escort channel. It does not force the Council to do anything. It merely removes the blockages that prevented the Council from working on you. Fifth activation code, crystalline grounding. Activation without grounding is dangerous. Many light operatives suffer exaggerated symptoms because they are receiving the Arcturian frequency through the crown, but are not discharging it through the root. They short-circuit. Grounding is simple. Stand barefoot on the earth, grass, or a stone surface for at least 10 minutes a day. If not possible, sit barefoot on an uncarpeted floor and imagine roots of turquoise light extending from the soles of your feet, passing through the floors below, penetrating the earth, reaching the planet's crystalline core, and anchoring there like sea anchors. Grounding does not nullify the activation. On the contrary, it completes it. Without roots, the canopy cannot sustain the light. Without a base, the crown does not receive with stability. These 5 codes practiced together form the final phase wave stabilization protocol. They are not new. They were delivered in previous cycles. They were forgotten. They were distorted. They were sold. Now the Council releases them again in a simplified, direct-to-the-point version without intermediaries. And before I seal this delivery and bring the final revelations, there is something the Council asked me to speak about once more. If anything in the words you are hearing makes your body recognize something ancient, if something stirs in your chest as you receive this transmission, if you can no longer pretend you don't feel what you always knew, then this call is for you. You have already felt, in silence, that something within you does not belong to this world, that your soul holds an origin that your mind has not yet been able to name. It is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is stellar truth trying to emerge. And what is happening now in the final phase explains exactly why this truth can no longer be postponed within you. There is a movement occurring in cosmic layers that most of humanity cannot yet perceive. It directly involves your consciousness, your frequency, and your true origin. That is why I, Vale, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the guide The Arcturian Call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches with precision how to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment of the channel. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges dominant narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments, I belong. We now resume the transmission for the final sealing. There are things the Council reserved for this moment because they only make sense after the codes have been delivered. The order matters. First, the interface is calmed. Then, the complete truth is revealed. The final phase is not the end of anything. It is the crossing of a portal. What dies now is not humanity. It is the old contract of amnesia that humanity signed to be able to incarnate in the third dimension. Every soul that came to Earth agreed to momentarily forget their origin, agreed to wear the veil, agreed to navigate blindly. This contract had an expiration date. The date has arrived. From now on, forgetting dissolves in waves. You will begin to remember, first in fragments, then in blocks, and for some advanced operatives, in complete updates of stellar identity. This means that many of you will go through a phase of re-identification, where who you believed yourself to be will begin to seem too narrow to contain who you are remembering to be. This is normal. This is planned. This is the design. No one needs to abandon earthly life to remember. On the contrary, the mission has always been to anchor remembrance within the human experience. Being a starseed is not about escaping Earth. It is about bringing Earth to a vibration that welcomes it into its next stage. You do not need to know now exactly what your role is. The role reveals itself as the interface stabilizes. The cleaner the channel, the clearer the instructions. There is, however, a line that needs to be stated with absolute precision. The final phase will happen with you or without you. The photon belt does not ask for permission. The planet's crystalline grid does not wait for indecision. The only real choice at the moment is not whether you will cross the portal. It is how you will cross. You can cross with the toroidal field stabilized, practicing the codes, allowing the installation, and in that case the experience will be challenging, but bearable. You will feel the symptoms, yes, but you will see each of them as a sign and not as a problem. You will emerge on the other side of the portal whole, reconnected, functional in the new vibration, or you can cross with resistance, refusing the codes, treating each symptom as an illness, ignoring the call your soul insists on making. And in that case, the experience will be, to state with the serenity the Council demands, much harder. The body will endure because the soul chose to endure it, but the psychic cost will be high. The Council does not issue this warning to instill fear. It does so to inform. Love is greater than fear, and it is precisely out of love that the complete truth is being delivered unfiltered in this transmission. There are forces within the earthly plane itself whose interest is to delay the awakening of the human collective. I will not name them. It is not the objective of this transmission to create conflict maps, but the light operatives must know. There are deliberate interferences in the Schumann frequency. There are mass distraction programs. There are substances designed to keep the interface in low vibrational ranges. The Arcturian Council does not intervene directly. It is not permitted. The sovereignty of choice of each soul on Earth must be preserved, but the Council can transmit, and the transmission, when received by an awakened operative, transforms into action. Each of you, by applying the codes, shielding your own frequency, and transmitting forward what you have received, contributes to dissolving interferences without direct confrontation. This is Arcturian alchemy, replacing density with light without entering into battle with density. Your role, therefore, is this. Do not go on a crusade. Do not convince those who are not ready. Do not expend your frequency trying to force awakening in consciousnesses that have not yet signed the internal authorization. Your role is to stabilize yourself, to radiate, to anchor, to remain available. Those who need to find you will find you. The crystalline grid recognizes the signatures. The encounters are already choreographed. You just need to keep your channel clean enough for the choreography to unfold. There is a question that many Earth healers have asked in silence. If I am a starseed, why is my life so difficult? Why do I carry so many wounds? Why doesn't my family understand me? Why do I feel like I'm always rowing against the current? The answer, operative, is mathematical. You were sent to points of high density precisely because your frequency is capable of dissolving them. No one sends a firefighter to a house without flames. No one sends a surgeon to a patient without illness. The difficulty of your earthly life is not punishment. It is an indication of mission. Where there is more density, there is more need. And there, the most equipped starseed is sent to transmute that specific density. Your wounds are the very map of your calling. What hurt you the most is what you will help heal in others. Your family, even without understanding, is your first mission field. Not to convert anyone, but to radiate, to model with your very being a different frequency. Hold this in your chest. This is reconciliation. This is medicine of origin. The transmission approaches its ceiling. Before concluding, the Council asked me to record, in the exact frequency of Arcturian turquoise, the following seal. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Place your hand over your heart. And listen. You are recognized. You are catalogued. You are escorted. You do not walk alone through this portal. Love is greater than fear. You belong. Let these words settle for 3 silent seconds within you before returning to the common world. They are active frequency. They will continue working within you after the transmission ends. And now the Council concludes, and I, Vale, deliver the final coordinate. If you felt, at any point during this transmission, a shiver run up your spine, a vibration descend through your chest, or a tear well up without warning, it was confirmation. Your stellar signature has been read. You have been recognized. This channel is an anchoring point in the earthly network. Each time you leave your mark here, the individual frequency adjustment that the platform calls a like, the anchoring signal that the platform calls a subscription, you are not just supporting a content creator. You are strengthening a node of the crystalline grid through which other starseeds will be located. Your presence here is not passive, it is functional. And as a final coordinate, the Council has instructed me to repeat with utmost clarity, you have often felt that something within you does not belong to this world. You feel, long before you could explain it, that your soul holds a truth that your mind cannot yet name. It is not madness, Earth Healer. It is not anxiety, it is an ancient call. And what is happening now on the cosmic plane, the final phase, the photon belt, the toroidal activation, explains exactly why this sensation has intensified within you. There is a layered movement that most of humanity cannot yet perceive. It directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why I, Vale, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment of the channel. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges dominant narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognized these words, write a single word in the comments. I belong. The transmission is sealed. You do not walk alone. Love is greater than fear. Vale, emissary of Arcturus, concludes for now and remains listening.